I thought I was in a hospital. It was an alarming situation to think that I had been hurt that seriously. The pain was very great. It was excruciating. So I figured I had some pretty serious injury, but I felt I was probably safe in a hospital, that I was being taken care of. There was some sort of device across my chest. I had a lot of pain in my chest. So maybe this thing was some sort of treatment, or, I didn't know. I couldn't see all that clearly. It was blurry and double vision. And I could hear the sounds of movement around me, and I just took this to be doctors, that things were being taken care of. I was on some sort of a raised table, a gurney operating table or something. And then when I looked in the direction of the movement sounds, I could see blurry forms that I thought were doctors wearing surgical caps and masks, with just an area across where the eyes would be that would be uncovered by that. But when I sharpened the focus in my eyes, I could see that was not the case, that I was looking into the face of this creature. And then I knew I was not in the hospital, and I was in very great danger. I felt that, this was extremely life-threatening.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me back here again on the 401 Files. It's an absolute pleasure, as I always say, to bring each and every one of you back into these areas of high strangeness with me. Today the conditions are a little different. Last time we was in this location exploring, it was on and off with sunshine and rain. Today it's extremely windy, so we're going to have to be cautious whenever we push into these forested areas, because trees are coming down left, right and centre. I have got my wits about me, and this should be a great video. This is the first of 2 more to come of the secret location that I'm going to be exploring, and then we move on to the nighttime ones as well, so look forward to those. And yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy this. Stay tuned to the end. So over all the years of me coming out into these places, and all the nights spent camping, sleeping out under the stars, or even all the hours thinking about what these things could be, I think my opinion has changed somewhat. Because at first I started out as a flesh and blood type guy, like a creature. I thought this was some kind of undiscovered humanoid, bipedal, ape type creature. And since then I've started to think and sway more towards it being extraterrestrial. Now that could be a bias, considering that I come from that kind of background. I was always interested in the extraterrestrial and UFO phenomenon. And so maybe I have dragged a bit of that across into the Bigfoot phenomenon, but you can only go off and you can only base your assumptions based on what you've experienced yourself. And throughout all the times of coming into these places and experiencing things that I've seen, things that I haven't seen, you have to make an educated decision. And to me, it makes more sense in my mind that this thing is somehow traveling here and able to get out of this place via means that we are not yet familiar with. Whether that be interdimensional, extraterrestrial, coming in a craft, I'm not sure, but to me it makes more sense going down that route. And so don't feel bad if you change your opinion on what you think this is. Like, some people are set in their ways, and no matter what evidence is brought forward to them, they will always stick by it being a flesh and blood type creature, and vice versa. Those that believe it's an extraterrestrial will believe that forevermore and never change their mind either. So
But my attention was riveted on them. They were immediately coming around the table towards me. I got on my feet and staggered back. I felt very weak and unsteady, and I backed up. I was actually sort of stumbling backwards, and I bumped up against a shelf or a workbench, and there was an array of instruments laying out there. It was just a quick glance. I didn't stand there and study them. I was just riveted on these creatures coming towards me. I just glanced, grabbed the biggest thing I could find, and started flailing in their direction to keep them from coming any closer. And they stopped, And at that moment was the peak of the fear and you know, the focus of my nightmares for months afterwards was this point at which they stopped with their hands extended towards me and staring in a way that felt invasive and intrusive, like they were looking inside of me in a way that just gave me this squirmy feeling in my head that it was agonizing. It was horrible.
Lewis, stay here. Lewis, come here. That was a great example, and I'm glad that I caught that on the GoPro, as to how easy it is when people aren't looking for these things to stay hidden. They didn't expect to see somebody out here wearing a cap and holding a big tripod taking pictures or video footage. And so just by staying still, not one of them saw me. And I must have counted about 10 or 11 people on bikes, maybe more. But that shows you, that goes to show that it is very, very easy to go undiscovered and stay hidden. I mean, look at me, I've got a cap on, I'm holding a great big tripod with a camera on the end, my dog's bright white in a green environment, I should stick out like a sore thumb. But just by using that very simple tactic of remaining still, every single one of those rode past me. So I had this weird experience the other night, and I thought I would share it here with you guys because it made me ask a different question with regards to the Bigfoot and wildman phenomenon. So this experience happened the other night. The time was about 11 o'clock, half 11. And at the time there was only me and Tallulah downstairs. I was sat on the sofa chilling out, and Tallulah was asleep on the far end, on the opposite side of the sofa. And I didn't move, I didn't speak. I just quickly glanced across at Tallulah for a split half a second, and I had this thought of, I'm going to take you out for a walk in a minute. With that, Tallulah jumped off the sofa almost instantaneously, sat at my feet with her tail going, all excited, and it was clearly obvious that she thought she was going for a walk. Now, how did she know that? I never opened my mouth, I never moved, I never put on my shoes or my coat. Tallulah doesn't have a set pattern of what time she goes out, so it wasn't even like she's got into a routine. It was just a random thought that took a split second, and it was like she somehow knew. She somehow knew that I was going to take her for a walk, but I don't know how that's possible. But it made me think about the Bigfoot and the wildman phenomenon. Because what a brilliant trait or a brilliant ability to have if you are trying to stay hidden. Because if you are somehow able to use telepathy, and you can see people's intentions or emotions off in the distance before they come anywhere close to you, you can already start making tracks. And I just think that that would be such a great ability to have, to read thoughts, read emotions, read intentions. I've tried it since with Tallulah, and more times than not, this works. Like I'll just put that seed in my head, and I'll think it over and over again. I'm going to take it for a walk. I don't open my mouth, but she somehow knows. She looks at me straight away, she jumps off the sofa, and like I said, she'll come sit at my feet, waiting for me to take her out. Now, if this Bigfoot creature or this wild man creature out there has this ability, this is only going to make our lives that much harder, but a lot more fascinating as well.
You know, do the Sasquatch have this unique and strange ability to communicate in that sense? I mean, we know certain animals have abilities that humans do not. I mean, they can pick up on things that humans can't. They have more powerful senses. You know, their sense of smell, their sense of sight, their sense of hearing are way more advanced than what we have. Are there other senses that are out there? Do they have almost a sixth sense or something of that nature? I don't know. I'm still just trying to, you know, determine for a fact if Sasquatch are real or not. You know, it's kind of crazy getting into all these other theories. But I think it's probably worth looking into, especially, you know, if I come across an incident where I'm trekking through the woods, you know, on a journey to find these creatures, and then all of a sudden I hear voices in my head. You know, it's going to be imperative that I remain calm and not freak out thinking that I'm going crazy.
Right guys, unfortunately that's all we've got time for today, but it's been an absolute pleasure once again to get out amongst these places full of high strangeness, lots of reports coming from these locations with you guys, and to talk about the topics that we love. As I said at the start of this video, if you can, please do share this content. The idea for the 401 files is to grow as big and as best as we possibly can, and I can't do that without the help of you, so please do share this with like-minded people. Give this one a thumbs up, drop down in the comments box below like I said, and stay tuned because very, very soon more content will be coming your way. Until next time guys, take it easy, look after yourself, and until next time, peace.